Good morning and welcome to Lesson 6-6. Today we're going to look at proportion and percents. To solve percent problems, we can actually write them as a proportion. So if we look at an example right here, it says find 65% of 245. Well, the part of this that we know is we know that 65% can be written as 65 over 100. So I can set that up, and I know the part of that 65% is going to be 65, and then the whole is 100 because a percentage is always written out of 100. Then I can set that equal to, and then what I'm doing is I'm looking to see 65% is how much or what part of 245 is it. So 245 will go on the bottom because that's my whole, and then I'm looking to solve for the part. And then all I have to do then is cross multiply and solve for x. So when we look at example 1, we're going to find the part of a whole. So for part A, it says that we want to find 25% of 124. So again, my 25% is going to be written as 25 over 100. And my whole is going to be the 124, but I don't know what x is, or I don't know what the part is. So if I go ahead and cross multiply, I'm left with 100x equals 25 times 124, which is 3100. I divide both sides by 100, and x then is going to equal 31. So if I were to take 31 and divide it by 124, then that would give me 25%. For part B, I want to know 43% of 230 is what? So I'm going to write my 43% again as 43 over 100. And the 230 is my whole, and I'm looking to solve for that part. So again, I have 100x equals 43 times 230 is 9,890. So when I divide both sides by 100, I end up with 98.9. So again, if I just double check my math, if I took 98.9 and I divided it by 230, you should end up with 43% or 0.43. And finally, for part C, I have 12.5% of 80 is what? So again, we're going to go 12.5 divided by 100 equals x divided by 80. When we cross multiply, we end up with 100x equals 1,000. And this tells me then that x is equal to 10. So 10 divided by 80 will give me 12.5%. Now for example 2, we're going to actually find the percentage. So it says, what percent of 250 is 138? So in this case, what we know is we're trying to find the percentage, or let's call it n. So what number over 100 is going to equal 138, or my part, over 250, which is my whole? So again, we cross multiply, and we have 250n equals 100 times 138 is going to give me 13,800. If I divide both sides by 250, n equals 55.2. So if you took 55.2 divided it by 100, you'd get 55.2%, which is exactly what 138 divided by 250 is. Okay, likewise for part B, it says 14 is what percent of 15? So again, I don't know what my percentage is, so I'm going to go x over 100 equals 14 divided by 15, and I'm going to cross multiply, so I have 15x equals 1400, and 1400 divided by 15 then is going to be 93.3 repeated. And again, we should have done this on the last one, but we did forget our unit of percentage because it did ask for what percent. Now another way we could be given a question is it says find the whole amount. So it says 19 is 75% of what number? So again, we're dealing with 75%, so I know that that will be 75 over 100. And it says 19 is 75% of what number? So I have 19 then is going to be on the top, and we don't know what our whole then is. So now I'm going to cross multiply, and I have 75x equals 1900. When I divide by 75, I end up with x equals 25.3. So again, if you take 19 divided by 25.3, you're going to end up with 75%. For part B, it says 310 is 99% of what number? Well, 99% means that we have 99 over 100, and we have 310 over x. So if we cross multiply, I have 99x equals 31,000. And if I divide both sides by 99, I end up with x equals 313.1. And in this case, if you notice, 310 and 313 are pretty close, which is probably means that we're on the right track since that we have 99% that we're looking for. So for a story problem, it says in 2000, the number of drive-in movie screens in the United States was 78% of the number in 1990. We want to know how many drive-in screens were there in 1990. So in this problem here, we were given that we have 78%. So I know that that equates to 78 over 100. So I'm going to start my proportion out that way. And then I'm told that in 2000, we had about 78% of the number in 1990. So I need to come over here and look at my table and see how many screens there were in 2000. So in 2000, we had 717 movie screens, and that was 78% of what we had in 1990. So that means I know what my part is, I just don't know what my whole is. So now if I cross multiply, I end up with 78x equals 71,700. And when I divide by 78, we get something that's close to 919 movie screens. Now in example 5, it says refer to the table in example 4. So we have that right here. It says in 2000, the number of drive-in movie screens was about 20.1% of the number in 1980. We want to find the number of drive-in screens in 1980. So here we have 20.1 divided by 100. And we know that in the year 2000, again, we had 717 screens. So I have 717 divided by x. And again, when I cross multiply, I have 20.1x equals 71,700. And when I divide both sides by 20.1, I end up with 3,567 movie screens. Please let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in class.